Hi, my name is McCory Green, and I decided to do my paper on emotivism. And disclaimer, my notes are on the side, so that's why I'm looking over there. So, moral judgments is something that every single individual captures in their life. And you have cognitivism and non-cognitivism, and this is where emotivism comes into play. So, looking at cognitivism is where moral judgments are based off belief, and these beliefs are connected to attributes of moral properties such as goodness and badness, and those moral properties are connected to people or to problems such as. And non-cognitivism is focusing on moral judgments that don't express any type of moral belief, so it can't focus on what's true and what's false. It only focuses on attitudes and behavior, and influencing others from your behaviors and from your attitudes. So looking at emotivism, A.J. Ayer, if I butchered his last name, but the moral claims is that moral statements can't express facts. They only can express feelings and attitudes and behaviors. So, for instance, saying stealing money is wrong. Well, that claim isn't necessarily true or false. It's just having a negative behavior response or negative attitude response towards that claim. And the two functions that this needs to have is that one, it expresses emotions, and two, it influences other parties with those emotions and with those attitudes and behaviors. And going back to what I said, that it can't be true nor it can be false, and the things that need to be in place for this to be nor true or false is it can't describe the world and it can't insert propositions. And going back, moral judgments, they clash with attitudes and behaviors. They don't clash with facts or beliefs. And for example, we have Jane and we have Ellen, and Jane is for abortion and Ellen is against abortion. But both ladies aren't arguing or disagreeing about facts or information. They're disagreeing on attitudes and behaviors, and they're both trying to influence each other on the other's perspective. And going back, this is the part where emotivism is the most controversial. It says that there is no objective moral properties. So there is no actual goodness and there's no actual badness in the world. And for instance, saying that pain is bad, well, pain is not necessarily bad. It's just a negative attitude or negative behavior that is attached to the statement pain is bad. And going down to our disagreeer, we have Philippia Foote, who agrees that moral judgments are meaningful and they can be rational, and that she says that when someone makes a moral judgment, they should provide evidence when appropriate, and that they should respond to counter arguments. And that Foote basically says that moral judgments that are based on behaviors and attitudes essentially misunderstands moral discourse, and that it's just basically on mere expression. And some philosophers claim that arguments they essentially will collapse because they are based on attitudes and behaviors, not based on information or facts that can back it up. And Hare's view, he says that someone can still disagree with you even if you lay out all like a long list of why they should. And we have a rebuttal, and this is where emotivism steps into play once again, saying that Foote basically is mistaken because she's trying to treat moral language as factual language, and she's trying to basically put facts with something that doesn't need facts whatsoever. It's based off of attitudes and behaviors, not based off what is true and what is false. And that moral claims are not not factual claims that can be proven, and they express attitudes and they express behaviors, and they try to influence others with those behaviors and those attitudes, like I said before, and they're not based off of facts whatsoever. And looking down, emotivism can't be settled off of facts, it can't be settled off of history, and it can't be set off of knowledge. Logic. It can't be. It's all set off of what that person's behavior or attitude towards the topic or whatever is being placed in front of them. So, moreover, non-cognitivist, which is emotivism, is something that is taboo. It's not really talked about, and I can understand why, but it is something that focuses on behavior and attitudes that are being expressed, and not something that is factual or true or false. And of course, you will always have people who have different outlooks, such as Flip Your Foot, who believes that emotivism can be rational and can be genuine, and somebody can back up their claims with moral claims. But emotivism comes back into play, saying that this is just not the case for this type of non-cognitivism. It focuses on the lived experience and the attitudes and behaviors of the person, and not moral facts. Thank you.